I thank the gentlelady. Now recognize my good friend from Indiana, Mr. Rokita.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the time, and also thank you for the wonderful compliment. Not sure what I did to deserve that this morning. I want to say good morning and welcome to our witnesses, and my apologies, quite frankly. And I'm not happy, but slightly embarrassed to say on the record that I apologize for not being able to hear all your testimony, but I am glad to be here, at least for the end of this hearing. I've done a little bit of work in preparing for this hearing and reviewing your written testimony, and I have a few questions, and again, my apologies if some of this has been covered. First of all, Mr. Baskin, if I can start with you, the criticism that's been leveled against contractors for not actively participating in the Davis-Bacon wage surveys versus some of the other surveys that they get a higher participation rate in seems to lead to the conclusion that DOL, Department of Labor, is hampered when collecting the survey data, resulting in a flawed wage rate. Do you agree, disagree, and what solutions do you have?
I agree they are hampered, and although there was some crosstalk about it, just to be clear, may not have been completely in the previous discussion, the one reason why BLS would be a more effective resource, we think, is that they are not the enforcers, as you've heard today. It's intimidating for contractors to be told by the agency that is going to audit them on other projects that they should submit this wage data.
But what to do? What to do? I mean,
well, the suggestion has been made that BLS could do a better job. The issue has been brought up about fringe benefits, but I would refer the committee to the testimony and the supplemental testimony from the last hearing on this subject, in which Mr. Shirk refuted the statements made by Mr. Eisenbreit today and pointed out several different ways that fringe benefit data could be economically added to the BLS surveys, or alternatively, what about this? The BLS does the part that they're better at and leave to the wage hour division to fill in the gaps with the fringe benefits. Still better than doing it all wrong, which is what's going on today.
Thank you. Dr. Groshen, would you like, is it Groshen or Groshen? I'm sorry. Groshen.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Would you like to respond to that?
The response that is most important here is that we, of course, do not make we do not make policy recommendations, and we do not make any judgments about how wages should be determined for Davis-Bacon purposes. We, with a clear set of instructions for what was needed, the BLS could provide an estimate at how much it would cost to produce those data, and we'd be happy to do that.
Okay. Just remember we're broke. As you've heard Dr. Groshen, continuing on with you, GAO found that the wage and hour division's wage rates were often outdated, and in one notable instance, 10 years out of date. Your testimony noted that it takes approximately 1 year for you to gather the data. How often do you update the survey? To gather data for the Occupational Employment Statistics Survey, how often do you update that survey?
We put out estimates annually, but we are in the field collecting the data continually. So we have our latest statistics came out for May 2012.
So are you familiar with this in one instance being 10 years out of date? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm not sure what that refers to.
Okay. Do you mind if I follow up with you in writing?
Absolutely not. Please.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Over the last, still with you, Doctor, over the last 15 years, the Department of Labor has suggested it is working to improve the timeliness, quality, and accuracy of the wage data. It has been suggested that using the BLS data would be more representative of prevailing wages. Can the BLS data be used as a more representative prevailing wage or not?
That wouldn't be up to us to decide.
But what's your opinion?
The BLS has no opinion on this matter.
But what's your opinion?
I'm here testifying as the commissioner of the BLS, so I have no opinion.
That's a bad way to go through life. I yield back.
Hey, Congressman, is it too late for me to respond?
No, I take back my time, Chairman.
Only to point out that it's been stated that it somehow incompatible with the statute, but the Wage Hour Division itself, or the Employment Standards Administration, back in 2001 said that it was feasible for the BLS data to be used for this purpose. It was feasible from the statutory perspective. You also asked about 10-year-old data, and since the District of Columbia was brought up, it should be pointed out that the current wage survey for building construction in the District of Columbia is based on data that was collected in 2004 and 2005.
I thank the witnesses. I yield back.